Last evening, we enjoyed a very happy evening with dancing, with Malay dancing. And I hope everyone will still hold the spirit, the happy spirit to this morning. And in fact, the director of the Malay dancing is our first speaker this morning. She is Madam Som Said, yeah. And I hope she will bring our more happier talk about the Malay dancing and also about the art and architect and heritage. Thank you. Let's welcome Madam Som Said. Thank you.
Thank you, Prof. May, and a very good morning to everybody. My name is Som Said, and I'm the founder director of Sri Warisan. Sri Warisan is a performing group that provide arts education programs to Singapore schools. Sri Warisan is 19 years now, and this morning I will be sharing with you my experience in dance for the past 50 years. And to start with, I will be talking about Malay dance in Singapore as an introduction. Okay, as I said, my sharing from my personal experience as an arts practitioner since 1965 and as an art education program provider for the Ministry of Education and the National Arts Council education program. And the content is structured as a brief compilation of my dance journey from the humble beginning of mentor-mentee traditional approach, that is ibu dan anak, or mother and daughter or children, and to the present module-based programs with curriculum, work plan, learning outcomes, and so on and so forth. We produce intangible and tangible end products, but my core end product is intangible. A long process that produces students with aesthetic sensibilities able to appreciate, react, respond to work of art. The sharing also discusses my philosophy, aspiration, and commitment to nurture the seeds of wisdoms through performing arts. And what wisdom are we talking about? For the Malay community, we want our children or our youth to respect, share, care, and of course, love. And I will not be having any but I will be having no images, but I will be having two instructors on stage together with me to demonstrate a few movements. Can I have Azhar and Ira, please, with your tika mangkuang? Please, Ira and Azhar, thank you. I'm sure yesterday some of you watched the performances that we presented yesterday, and those are the choreographies that I produced for the past years. And I will be repeating for the benefit of those who did not watch this. Tika mengkuang di bentang luas, tanda sambutan tulus dan ikhlas. Sirih dihulur pengerat jalinan, silat pusaka pelengkap warisan. It have a very meaningful symbol, intangible values about our Malay heritage have been passed down from generation to generation, reminding us to receive our guests with the highest honor. The straw mat, a commonplace mat traditionally found in Malay homes, is now used in my choreography to symbolize an open heart. So Azhar can open it bigger, wider. Yes, and this straw mat is very difficult to get now. And the betel leaves, an indispensable role in Malay community that serve as a friendship. So once you come to a Malay home, before you are being served with drinks, you will be served with betel leaves as a gesture or token of a friendship. And of course, the art of self-defense that it was performed yesterday symbolize protection and safety. And I'd like to emphasize more on this. Can Azhar do it one at a time, please? The first step is open arm, go. That means you are welcome. Next, we seek the permission from God and the ground that we step on. With sincerity, hold it there, Azhar, with sincerity pointing to our heart. And as pure, as white as our palm, sensibly, that means we are not crazy, we are still sensible, okay? And we are ready to protect. So these are the things that, it inspired me to do choreography based on what I see, based on our daily lives. And now Azhar and Ira will show the 5 basic movements that I receive in a normal setting of a family-oriented classroom, dance classroom. That means whoever is in front is the teacher. And the 5 basic movements that I learned is, the number 1 is asli. Very simple movement. This is like a Malay people walking. Linggang. And linggang, 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 and go. Whisper to the right and whisper to the left. Next. The faster pace is called inang. Inang is also a linggang, but depicting a happier movements of Malay ladies and Malay men. And happier, tak tung tung tak tung tak tung tung tak tung tak tung tung tak tung. And the third one is masri. And masri is associated with candle dance, in search of a lost ring. And turn to the right and ta-ta-dam, and ta-ta-da, ta-ta, thank you. The 4th dance that I learned was zapin. And zapin is originated from the Middle East, and this is the only dance that starts with the left leg. Ta-ta-ta-ta, and ta-ta-ta-ta, forward, ta-ta, and back, ta, and ta, and ta. And the last but not least, one of the dance that you saw yesterday was a ronggeng. And ronggeng depict the most happiest movements in Malay dance to show happiness and joy. And go. Ha, ta da 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 ta 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 tam. Thank you, Azhar and Ira. Right. So these are the things that I learned, and I saw, and I watched, and I embraced, and it became my treasure. And from that moment, I know what it's all about. Asli, inang, zapin, masri, ronggeng. I want to preserve it. So how do I preserve it? I conduct classes. It was oral history kind of thing, You don't document it, you can't read anywhere, it's just in my memory. So I conduct classes and I teach the same manner, traditional way. Whoever is in front, standing in front, that will be the teacher. And when I joined Sriwana Cultural Group in 1965, every week I have a new teacher. Every week I have different teachers. And not long after, I realized that I have been standing in front, guiding and teaching friends. They are not junior than me. They are just my friends. And we learn together. And the dance that I choreograph using props, Ira will now show the movements of a variation from the 5 basic using the props, tepak sirih. What I want to portray here, welcome dance, the 5 basic Malay dance that we had, that was inherited to us, was originally from Indonesia. But how can I make it a Singaporean kind of dance? So I see things around me, and tepak sirih attracts me. It's beautiful, intricate design of the embroidery, and of course there are 2 types of bitter leaves. One is for you to chew while you chit-chat with your friends, but this one is sirih kasih sayang that you offer to friends, especially at weddings. So Ira will show a simple movement from what we learned earlier, inang, lenggang. So the variation is from lenggang to something that we take and give and pick and move and ta da da and offer to the audience. Ta 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 ta. Thank you, Ira. And now, from the simple silat, Azhar will show with the use of kompang. The kompang is actually a handheld drum. A handheld drum that is only used to accompany Malay wedding. The beating, is a happy occasion. But what can I use with this beautiful instrument? So, I created these movements that male and female can hold it and can be creative about it, while we preserve, we promote, and the next thing is I want to innovate. So how do I innovate with all the 5 basic dance and moving forward with tradition? So the last piece that you saw, a character with the mask and a character of a female good over evil character. Can I have Azhar and Ira to demonstrate? Based on a legend, I see lots of beautiful things, memories, history, although I don't experience the many historical events, but with my imaginary and what I have, what I've embraced, become the I treasured most. And this is one of the character that I love doing. Expression, a borrowed element of contemporary, but the traditional element remain. And Ira, with the stepmother character, and the young people love something that is challenging. And instead of just the lenggang, we show the extension of the body and the bigger movement, the steps, and so on and so forth. Thank you, Ira. And now let's combine both together. And once they have the training, the basic foundation is very important. The next thing, we don't have to give script because dance is about body language, and they can interact to any kind of character that is given to them. As I said earlier, thank you, Ira and Azhar. As I said earlier, the symbolic gestures is an imaginary gesture, and what I borrowed from home and I didn't return a few movements. Example is tumpang lalu. Okay, stay on there. Ira, stay. Okay. Last time we were taken care by our grandma at home, Malay home. Grandmother take care of us, discipline us, tell us what to do, what not to do, and all that. But nowadays, our grandparents stay alone and they have their own life. So, the etiquette at home, I borrowed and I bring it to the dance room, dance classes, and this is what I teach the students, and this is what I use as a performance beginning or introduction. That is tumpang lalu. Tumpang lalu is a gesture that if you are walking in front of an elderly, you cannot just dash across. You just bend a little and extend your hand, and that is considered as polite. And the next thing is welcoming your guests or your friends. Extend your arm, open up. I've already explained the meaning just now earlier. And sincerely put your heart. And the third one is, you are welcome. Next, how are you? Sorry, my mistake. How are you? I'm fine, thank you. Stay there. How are you? And twirl your right arm and left and put to your heart again. And for the Malay community, we choose to use our right thumb, and we consider this as best or polite way, and to point at direction and whatever you want to do. Please help yourself. Please be seated, and all that. We will use our right arm, okay, right thumb. Sorry. Do I miss anything, Ira? No. All complete. Let's do it together at your seat. Okay, you cannot do the extension, right? Okay, move and go. How are you? I'm fine, thank you. Let's do it together. How are you? I'm fine, thank you. You are welcome. Open up your arm and put your heart. Thank you. And thank you, Ira and Azhar. Thank you. Right. And last but not least, I like to also mention that last year was my 50th year of celebrating dance. And until now, my core end product is still nurturing the seeds of wisdom. And the practices is done at a studio rehearsal and during the productions and also at many performances that we have. And the nurturing of wisdom is very intangible that, you don't realize but happen during a performing session or, as I said, nurturing the seeds of wisdom through performing arts. And of course, the artistic value become the second component of if the students or the dancers are good and we know their potential to become performers, that is where we concentrate on the artistic value. On that, I end my speech. Thank you.